Have you ever wanted to be a spy? I know I have, until I watched this TV series.
Camera ready! Quiet on the set!
Stand by, camera one, stand by to mic and cue.
3, 2, 1.
The very original title, The Spy, is available on Netflix at the time of this post. Even I could have come up with a better name for the TV series produced by a French company, Legende Enterprises. The main protagonist is played by Sacha Baron Cohen, whom I did not know was an accomplished actor outside of his very own Borat movies. But he is.
My name is Kamel Amin Thabit.
The movie is set in the 1960s. Eli Cohen is recruited. Let's cut. I need to fact check. So what was interesting is that I saw a potential discrepancy with the actors' names and characters' names. It turns out though, when I fact checked, something interesting is that the character name for this film is Eli Cohen. And the actor who played him is Sacha Baron Cohen. They both have the same last name, Cohen. I wonder if there's a connection there. The movie is set in the 1960s. Eli Cohen is recruited by the Israeli Mossad.
If your country needed you to lie to your friends, your family, your wife, would you do it?
Which, before I watched this film, I had no idea what that was. The Israeli Mossad, and goes undercover in Syria on a very dangerous mission, infiltrating the Syrian Ministry of Defense. Part of his mission was to report on Syrian military movements and operations against Israel. But for some trivia, another one of his tasks, not discussed in the series, was to locate the whereabouts of former Nazi officers from World War II. Let's talk about the script. The script is immaculate. The story grabs my attention from the beginning when in episode 1, the Mossad spy agency recruits and trains Eli. They are upfront with him.
If your country asked you to risk your life, would you do it?
He was recruited for a very dangerous mission. As the episodes progress, we learn just how dangerous it really is. If he's discovered, that's it. No one will be there to save him. There is no backup plan. He is the plan. Meanwhile, he's surrounded by Syrian officers and businessmen who constantly test his loyalty. Nevertheless, Eli continues to develop high-ranking military contacts without breaking character. Even though we are shown his fate at the beginning of the series, it keeps me engaged and wanting to watch more. Some have criticized it for not being fully accurate, but the advantage we filmmakers have is that we don't have to be 100% accurate. Our aim is to entertain, and in the case of this series, bring up some inconvenient truths about the Syrian military of the time. Moreover, the writers obviously did a lot of research about how spy networks operated in those times. They wanted to give a more realistic account of just how dangerous it is to be a spy, now as well as then. Let's talk about the acting. One of the best performances I've ever seen is done by the star of this series, Sacha Baron Cohen. The role was perfect for him because it required multiple personas in one person. He was an actor pretending to be Eli, who pretends to be a businessman. I was totally convinced. All the other actors are excellent as well. Thumbs up for the acting. Let's talk about the color grading. Here we see a good example of natural yet muted skin tones in some scenes, while in others there's a hint of orange hue. Some scenes are almost in black and white with only a suggestion of color. The color grading expertly reminded me that this story took place in the 60s. And now for my final thoughts. I give this series a 9.5. The storyline kept me engaged with the help of Sacha Cohen delivering a beautiful performance. The color grade showed me mostly muted color palette, while sometimes giving me more saturated colors depending on the scene and mood that the director is trying to convey. So now the question, after watching this series, would you want to be a spy in the field? I wouldn't. Tell me your answer in the comments below. As always, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and tell me what you thought about this review in the comments below. And I'll see you in Ramon's First Take Movie Reviews. Goodbye.